Ever set a goal for yourself, something you really want, but then you hit the same roadblocks every time?
You are definitely not alone.
It's like you're stuck in a repeating loop of good intentions.
It's like our brains have these hidden patterns.
These subconscious detours that keep us from, I don't know, reaching our full potential.
Yeah, our full potential.
And that's where we're diving in today,
Okay.
to uncover those patterns and break free,
Love it.
using a technique called the 4 squares.
The 4 squares, it's a powerful tool for self-discovery.
And while our source, Flow with Human Design, focuses on using it for like money blocks,
Right.
we'll see how it applies to so much more.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm already intrigued.
Yeah.
But before we get lost in the sauce, what exactly are these 4 squares?
Okay, picture a simple square divided into 4 equal parts.
Okay.
Each part represents a different aspect of your relationship with a specific desire.
Okay.
And this could be anything,
Okay.
from wanting a career change to finally writing that novel.
Okay, I'm visualizing it.
Yeah.
I took a brainstorming board, but each square holds like a deeper meaning, right?
Exactly. Exactly.
What is
So
it?
let's say your desire is to finally clear out that clutter.
Ugh, yes,
Get organized, right?
please.
In the top left square, you'd write, desire to get organized.
Simple enough, right?
Simple. Yeah.
Okay. So what goes in the opposite square?
So the top right square is for the flip side, fear of getting organized.
Okay.
Because often, even when we want something,
Yeah.
there's an underlying fear holding us back.
Ooh. Okay, I can see where this is going.
Yeah.
So in this case, the fear might be like stumbling across forgotten emotional baggage.
Sure.
Or maybe just the overwhelming feeling of where do I even begin?
Totally. Yeah. Now you're getting it.
Okay.
Here's where the 4 squares gets really insightful.
Okay.
The bottom 2 squares
Okay.
are where we uncover the subconscious blocks.
Okay. Hit me with it. I'm ready for the aha moment.
All right. The bottom left is your desire to stay the same.
Wait, what?
Yes.
The same.
You heard that right. You heard that right.
Hold on a second.
Even with that initial desire for change,
Okay.
there's a part of us that wants to stay in our comfort zone.
Oh.
And the bottom right square.
Don't tell me.
You guessed it.
Fear of staying the same.
Fear staying the same.
Okay, hold on a second. I need to wrap my head around this.
Right.
So in our decluttering example, the desire to stay the same might be like, I don't want to deal with those tough emotions tied to the clutter.
Sure, yeah.
But then the fear of staying the same might be the fear of feeling stuck and overwhelmed forever.
Exactly. It's like this internal tug of war
Okay.
between wanting to change and wanting things to stay exactly as they are, even if they're not ideal.
So how does knowing this help us break free?
Well, think about it this way.
It sounds like we're just like revealing a more complicated knot of desires and fears.
Right. You can't untie a knot when you can't see it.
Okay.
Right.
That's true.
By laying out these 4 aspects, you're bringing those subconscious patterns into the light of your conscious mind.
Okay.
And that's where the real magic happens.
Okay. Now I'm really curious to see how this works in a real life scenario.
Okay.
Our source used the example of wanting more money.
Yeah, sure.
So let's break that down.
It's a relatable one.
Oh, yeah.
Many desire more money, right?
Absolutely.
For travel, for security, for opportunities.
Yes, 1,000,000 times. Yes.
Yeah.
But then,
Those fears come creeping in.
exactly, and they can be sneaky.
Oh, tell me about it.
The source mentions the fear of having to work more, shouldering more responsibility,
Yeah.
or even the fear that more money will lead to more problems.
Okay, I've definitely had those thoughts.
Right.
Especially that last one.
Yeah.
Like, will I even be able to handle all that abundance? Right? It's like our brains think more money automatically equals more problems.
Yeah. And it's not always the case.
Not always, no.
It's that familiarity bias at play.
Our brains are kind of wired to conserve energy,
Right.
to stick with what's predictable, even if it's not, making us happy.
Okay. Yeah.
Think about those shoes you keep wearing, even though they're uncomfortable.
Okay. That I'm guilty of. Yes.
Right, exactly.
But how does this relate back to like the money example?
Well, even if our current financial situation isn't ideal,
Right.
it's familiar, right?
Yeah.
Our brain knows what to expect.
Okay.
So there's a strange comfort in that,
Yeah.
even if it comes with a side of like fear of missing out,
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Yeah. No, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. So now those bottom squares are making more sense.
Okay.
The desire to stay financially, I don't know, like stable, even if it's not like amazing,
Right.
stems from like wanting to avoid the unknown. Right.
Precisely.
Okay.
And the fear of staying the same financially
Yeah.
could be that nagging feeling of like, what if I never reach my full potential?
Ugh, yeah, no, exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
It's like being trapped between a rock and a hard place.
It's like being on a financial treadmill. You're working hard,
Yes.
but you're not really getting anywhere.
And that's where the real power of the 4 squares comes in.
Okay,
It helps us jump off that treadmill.
get me off.
Remember that infinity loop our source mentioned?
I do. It sounded a bit like those hamster wheels we've been talking about.
Yes.
Only, like, worse.
Because it's happening on a subconscious level.
Oh, right.
We bounce between the desire for more money,
Okay.
the fear of what that might bring, the desire to stay financially secure,
Right.
and the fear of staying stuck.
Ugh, it's exhausting.
Round and round we go, never actually breaking through.
So how do we escape this financial or any other kind of loop?
Well, the key is awareness,
Okay.
and the 4 squares acts as that flashlight in the dark.
Okay.
Writing these things down, bringing them into your conscious awareness,
Yeah.
that's the first step to dismantling the cycle.
But it's not enough to just know these fears and desires exist, right?
Yeah, right? It's like, congratulations.
Yeah.
You've identified the problem, now what?
Exactly. That's where the, like, activation part comes in.
Okay.
Our source suggests using a mantra,
Okay.
a powerful affirmation to kind of shift your energy
Okay.
and break free from that loop.
Okay. This is what I'm really curious about. Tell me more about this mantra.
Okay, so it's about acknowledging the cycle,
Okay.
recognizing the hold it has on you,
Yeah.
and then actively choosing to step out of it.
Okay.
The source suggests a mantra of gratitude
Oh.
for this newfound awareness,
Okay.
which helps shift your energy from feeling stuck
Right.
to feeling empowered.
Gratitude for awareness. That's interesting.
Think about it. When you're grateful for something,
Yeah.
it's harder to be, like, stuck in a negative spiral about it.
That's true. That's true.
So the mantra helps you approach the cycle with more compassion,
Okay.
more understanding, which can be incredibly freeing.
It's like saying to your subconscious, hey, I see what you're doing there.
Trying to keep me safe in this little, familiar box.
Exactly.
But I'm ready to, like, step out now.
Yes, it's about reclaiming your power,
Okay.
choosing a different path.
Yeah.
And the mantra is a way to kind of solidify that intention.
So this isn't about ignoring our fears.
No.
Or pretending they don't exist.
Not at all.
Okay,
It's
how?
about acknowledging them, understanding where they come from,
Yeah.
and then choosing to move forward with them, not in spite of them.
Ooh, I like that. Okay, that's a good distinction.
Yeah.
So it's not like we're just putting blinders on.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is good. I can see how that would be like a game changer.
Right.
Instead of our fears being these roadblocks,
Yeah.
they become more like, I don't know, guideposts
Yes.
showing us like where we need to focus our attention.
You've got it. And the mantra helps us shift our perspective.
Okay.
So we can see those guideposts more clearly.
Do you have to use the specific mantra that like our source suggests?
Oh, that's a good question.
Or can you adapt it to like resonate more with you personally?
I love that question because it highlights the importance of making this technique your own,
Okay.
while the source offers a specific mantra.
Okay.
The true power lies in finding language that resonates deeply with you.
Okay.
You know, if it feels forced or it doesn't quite click,
Yeah.
play around with it. The most important thing is that you're tapping into the energy of gratitude,
Okay.
acknowledgement, and a desire for change.
So it's like choosing the right key for the lock.
Yes.
The 4 squares technique
Mm.
helps us identify the lock,
Uh-huh.
those subconscious patterns.
Right.
And the mantra is the key that unlocks the door to change.
I love that analogy. I love that.
Yeah.
And once that door is open, you can step through to a whole new level of self-awareness and possibility.
This isn't just like mystical mumbo jumbo, is it? This is a practical tool that we can use
No, not at all.
in all areas of life, right?
Absolutely. Think about it. The 4 squares isn't just about finances or like big life changes that can be applied to everyday things too.
Oh, okay.
Want to start a new workout routine, but keep finding excuses.
4 squares.
4 squares.
Okay.
Procrastinating on a work project.
Ugh, don't even get me started. Yeah, 4 squares.
4 squares,
Sorry.
exactly. Right.
Okay.
You're right. I can see how understanding these underlying desires and fears
Yeah.
could be helpful for those little internal battles that we have all the time.
Yes, like desire to eat all the cookies, fear of.
Right, exactly.
Well, there's no fear there, just cookies.
Just cookies.
But on a serious note,
Right.
imagine being able to pinpoint what's really holding you back from like going after that promotion
Right.
or having that difficult conversation you've been putting off.
It's about understanding your own internal landscape, those hidden motivations and fears, so you can move forward with more clarity and intention.
Because sometimes the biggest obstacle to achieving what we want
Yes.
is ourselves.
Right. Now you're getting it. It's about becoming the architect of your own life,
Ooh.
not just the passenger along for the ride.
Ooh, that's good. I like that a lot.
Thank you.
This deep dive is making me want to like grab a notebook and start scribbling.
Do it. Do it.
This 4 squares thing seems like a game changer.
It truly can be. It's about bridging the gap between where you are and where you want to be
Okay.
by first understanding the terrain of your own mind.
Okay.
And sometimes, as we've learned today, that terrain is a little more complicated and
Yeah.
twisty-turny than we initially realized.
Oh yeah, tell me about it. It's
Yep.
like our brains have all these like secret back roads and detours we're not even aware of.
You're right.
No wonder we get stuck in those loops.
And think about how often we try to, like, power through.
Uh-oh.
We set the same goals,
All
make
right.
the same resolutions without addressing those underlying patterns.
Yeah, you're just like,
It's like trying to build a house on a foundation full of cracks.
okay, that's a terrifying but accurate analogy. You're making me want to like go back and analyze every goal I've ever abandoned.
I mean, and that's the beauty of this.
Okay.
It's never too late to kind of hit the reset button,
Yeah.
to start looking at your desires and fears with this new lens of awareness.
So what would you say to someone listening who's thinking, like, this all sounds great, but I'm already self-aware.
Right.
Like, I know what my fears are.
I'd say there's a difference between knowing something intellectually
Okay.
and truly understanding it on a deeper, more embodied level.
Okay. Yeah.
The 4 squares isn't just about naming your fears.
Right.
It's about exploring the why behind them.
Okay.
It's about understanding how those fears are, like, intertwined with your desires.
Yeah.
And how they might be, keeping you stuck in a cycle of self-sabotage.
Because sometimes the biggest obstacle to achieving what we want
Yes.
is ourselves.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And once you understand that, you can start to, dismantle those self-imposed roadblocks and
Fancy.
create a clearer path forward.
This has been incredibly eye-opening.
Yeah.
The 4 squares is such a simple concept, yet it has so much depth to it.
It's deceptively simple, isn't it?
It is.
And that's what makes it so powerful.
Okay.
It's a tool anyone can use at any time
Right.
to gain a deeper understanding of themselves and their relationship to their goals,
Yeah.
their dreams, and even their fears.
I know I've learned a lot today, and I'm sure our listeners have too.
Yeah.
As we wrap up this deep dive,
Yes.
I'm curious, what's one thing you hope our listeners will, take away from this conversation?
If I had to leave you with just one thought, it would be this. Don't be afraid to, explore the shadows,
Ooh.
those hidden fears and desires, the ones you might be, most reluctant to face.
Yeah.
They hold the keys to incredible growth and transformation.
It's like we always say, the real treasure is often buried where we least want to look.
Right.
So go on, get digging. Who knows what you might uncover about yourself and what you're truly capable of achieving.
And remember, you don't have to do it alone. Grab a friend, grab a notebook,
Yes.
and start exploring those 4 squares together.
Oh, I love that.
You might be surprised by what you discover.
This has given me a lot to think about.
Good.
What about you? What desires and fears come up for you? What will your 4 squares reveal? Until next time, happy diving.